What is up, fight fans? Welcome back to Picking a Fight. I'm Latch, and today we're going to be looking at the main event of UFC Fight Night, Grasso versus Araujo. But before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't. We're putting out videos for almost every fight night and pay-per-view, including UFC 280 Oliveira versus Makhachev next week, probably the most anticipated fight of the year. So subscribe so you don't miss out on those videos. And yeah, let's get right into it. So we got number 5 ranked Alexa Grasso. She is 14-3. She's 29 years old. She's 5'5" with a 66-inch reach, and she's coming off a 3-fight win streak with wins over Joanne Wood, Macy Barber, and Jeon Kim. And she is going against Viviane Araujo. She's ranked number 6. She's 11-3. She's 35 years old. She's 5'4" with a 68-inch reach. And her last two is a win against Andrea Lee, and before that, a loss to Katlyn Chookagian. And yeah, Alexa Grasso is actually coming as a pretty big favorite, minus 215 compared to plus 185 for Viviane as of recording this. This is a really good matchup from the matchmakers, man. Ranked close in proximity at 5 and 6, so it really makes sense there. But the styles, man, they're very similar. You know, Alexa Grasso, she comes from a boxing background, so she kind of carried that into MMA. Her MMA stance is more boxing centric, or more of a boxing style. She keeps a very high guard to block. Her guard's very active. She moves her head very well. She uses her feet very well too to get in and out of range, and she circles around like, you know, every good boxer does. You know, she uses her footwork to maintain range and to escape, which is very, very good. Her punches are very, very crisp. You know, there's not any time wasted on them. And she likes to throw combinations, which is very good because a lot of fighters don't follow up on their shots, and she very well does. And her combinations are very, very crisp. You know, she keeps them very tight. She doesn't get wild. She's very composed. Her technique is very nice. You know, I think one of the biggest questions is her ground game. Obviously, coming into the UFC, one of the biggest questions was if her ground game would hold up, you know, being from a boxing background and having to learn wrestling. And early on, you know, that was the biggest flaw in her game, and fighters took advantage of it. You know, she lost to fighters I thought she was already better than. That's what happens, and the only way to subdue that is to get better. You know, get your game a little more well-rounded, and she has done that. She obviously got her very first submission in her last fight against Joanne Wood, and Joanne Wood is a pretty good grappler, so that was a very impressive win. But I just think her ground game, although it is getting better, I just don't think it's at that level yet. You know, I think her win over Joanne Wood could maybe give her a sense of false confidence, especially Araujo. She's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. She's actually a very good grappler. She's actually a very strong grappler, which will be very different to someone like Joanne Wood, who wasn't as strong. But I think Viviane, she's a little different, man. she built a little different. She's very strong. So she will be the shorter fighter, but she's a little stockier, and she's very, very strong. And honestly, her striking is also pretty similar. She carries, you know, a high guard, striking centric. I think her combinations aren't as clean as Grasso's. I think she wings her shots a little more. So I think she is the biggest threat when it comes to the grappling, and I think we will see it. I think she will show her experience when it comes to the grappling, because I think on the feet, it will be a close striking battle, but I think I give the edge to Grasso. I think her combinations are a little longer. Her boxing's a little crisper, and she can counter in between these girls' combinations. She's able to catch them in between their combinations, and I don't think Araujo can do that. You know, she has some good kicks and stuff, but I do think Grasso's striking is just a little better, so I would give the edge to Grasso. But when it comes to the grappling, I think the advantage in the grappling department is bigger than it is in the striking department, and I think that's to Vivi. You know, I think she's way stronger. She has a good sense on the ground. We saw that against Chookagian and against Andrea Lee. You know, she knows what she's doing down there, and she's pretty good at it, man. And I just think Grasso's not ready for that. And I'm pretty sure Ariane, she's going to mix it up. And I think she'll be able to get it, man. You know, being Mexican myself, I mean, you know, I'm Alexa Grasso team all day. But I think Araujo gets it done by decision. I think she's going to utilize a well-rounded game. You know, keep it close on the striking. And when she needs to, she's going to take her down. I think she's going to be able to control her. I don't know if she'll be able to submit her. That would be pretty impressive, to be honest, especially because whoever wins this might be on the short list for the title. You know, I think if Alexa Grasso wins, I think they'll be very impressive. You know, she'll show that her game has become very well-rounded in a very short time. You know, she's grown in the UFC. So let me know down below what you think. Do you agree with my analysis? Do you disagree? Let me know down below. And let me know who you got. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe if you haven't. Check out our other videos. We're doing the co-main and 2 other fights on this same card, so go ahead and check those out if you haven't. It's gonna be a great night of fights, guys. Don't forget to tune in. I know a lot of people don't like this. They think this card is weak. Bro, there's a lot of good fights on this card. I'll see you next week for UFC 280 Oliveira versus Makhachev. Now that card is absolutely stacked. Yeah, we'll see you next week for those, because that's going to be a crazy night. Yep, but I'll see you then.